In this video, we're going to see how we could do a dynamic grade in a shot in Mistika. You can see here that I have this shot of mountains. It's a time-lapse shot, and the client is requesting to take this shot from daytime to sunset. So we're going to go to a darker, warmer look towards the end. You can see I already have a grade applied in my first vector. I'm going to mute it so you can see that I've just contrasted and balanced a little bit the shot. So to perform this operation, what I'm going to do is add another layer. So in my layer tab in the parameters panel, add layer, and you can see I have vector 2. And in vector 2, what I'm going to do is add, I'm not going to start completely from the first frame. I'm going to do it from frame number 10. I'm going to add an endpoint here. And you can see as soon as I add an endpoint, it looks like any other keyframe in Mistika. It's a green triangle facing down. And I'm going to move this to, let's say, 65. Yeah, there. And in 65, I'm going to add an out point. You can also add an out point with the O key in the keyboard. Okay, so you can see there. Now I've added an in point and an out point keyframe. Okay, so that makes it quite easy to understand how this works. And over here, it doesn't matter where I position my my playhead or the cursor here to make the grade after the out point. It always is going to modify the latest out point that exists in the timeline. So just here, even if I'm in the last frame, I'll be modifying the keyframe that is in a 65. So I don't need to necessarily be on frame 65 to do this. So over here, what I'm going to do is just bring down the gamma. Okay. And let's add a little bit of warmth. To play with the luminance in Mistika, you have to do it with the right button of the mouse. Okay, so with the right button of the mouse, you can reduce the luminance ring. Okay, so I add that there. And over here, I'm going to go now slightly to the black point and crush the blacks a little bit more there. Okay, maybe reduce a little bit. Highlight information. I'm going to go to my fixed vectors, and in the fixed vectors, I'm going to darken my blue and cyans. I'm going to take my blue towards magenta there, and maybe my yellows slightly more to red. And there you can see now that I've added my dynamic grade, and you can see how the different elements I've been working on are moving in Mistika just by adding an endpoint where I leave everything as it is, and my out point. And even if maybe I wanted to modify something in the endpoint and maybe add just a tiny bit more of contrast there and a little bit of saturation there at the beginning. Okay, it would only modify the endpoint, and then I'll have my out point just as I set it before.